All right, beautiful people. So today we're talking about what are integers and how can we use them to represent quantities. So the first thing we need to know is what is an integer, obviously. So let's start with some quick definitions. So positive numbers. These are numbers that you use pretty much every day, like 5, 7, 9, 22, whatever. These are numbers that are greater than 0. Awesome. And some examples are things like 1, 17, 253, 72,364. Okay, all of these are positive numbers. You can write them like this without a positive sign, or you could put a little plus sign next to them. Either way, that's how you denote positive numbers. Okay, they're automatically assumed to be positive, so you don't have to put the plus sign next to them. Okay, all right, on the other side are negative numbers, which I'm sure that you've heard of and maybe you've used before, and maybe you have some intuition about negative numbers. So negative numbers are the numbers that are smaller than 0, like -1, -15, -72. Numbers that are less than 0. And some examples are things like -1, -15, -29, -14,332. Okay. Notice for negative numbers, you have to put the minus sign in front of them or the negative sign because that's how we tell that they're negative. Positive numbers are assumed to be positive, but as soon as you have a negative number, you need to use the negative sign. Okay, so then we have positive numbers and we have negative numbers. Integers, now it's spelt like this, and it's pronounced integer. So like think about it for a minute. Use that pronunciation to help yourself. Integer. Integers are the set of all positive and negative whole numbers. Okay. Now what do I mean by whole numbers? When I say whole numbers, I mean numbers that don't have a fraction or a decimal component. So like when you're counting on your fingers or when you're counting like live things. These are positive and negative whole numbers, things that don't have decimals or fractions. So integers is all of these numbers together as long as they are whole numbers. Okay. All right, so now we kind of know what an integer is. So let me give you some examples of integers. Examples. So like 53, -217, +4, -16, so on and so forth. There are infinitely many integers, like it never ends because you can count forever and ever in positive and negative directions. Okay. Now, when I work with integers, I have something called opposites. Opposites. Okay, and I bet you can guess what an opposite is based on what you know about opposites. Okay, opposites are a positive and a negative number that are the same distance from 0. Okay, again, a positive and a negative number that are the same distance from 0. So here's an example of a set of opposites. 1 and -1 are opposites because they're both 1 away from 0. 15 and -15 are opposites because, again, they're 15 away from 0. 437 and -437 are also opposites. Okay, do you see the pattern that's happening here? Notice the positive and the negative number have the same numbers on them. It's just one is positive and one is negative. Here's another example. Maybe you have -43 and +43. It doesn't matter which one comes first as long as you have the negative version and the positive version. They are opposites. They're a pair. Okay, and they go together. So like maybe -3,420 and +3,420. These are opposites. All right.